Welcome, everyone, to Being AltLink at Alter. This is our series where we really get into what it means day in and day out to live Alter's core values.
That's right. And just as a reminder, Alter, as you know, is a marketing and advertising agency, and we're all working towards this really big vision.
A really ambitious one.
Absolutely. To be recognized as the home of limitless creativity and bringing that vision to life, well, that really hinges on how we as AltLinks actually embody our core principles.
Totally agree. And today, we're zooming in on one specific, really crucial core value, adaptability. But we're not just talking adaptability in like a vague, general way. For this deep dive, we're focusing laser sharp on one particular statement that really defined a key part of this value for us here at Alter.
And that specific statement is, I willingly step out of my comfort zone to take on new tasks, roles, and responsibilities.
Okay, willingly step out. Let's unpack that. Our goal here, focusing just on this idea, is to really understand what it means, what it actually looks like in practice, and, why it matters so much for you listening right now and for all of us together at Alter.
Right.
So based on this focus, what is this kind of adaptability, this willingness to move beyond what's comfortable? What does it really mean?
Well, it's definitely more than just, reacting when things change. It's not simply being flexible if a deadline moves or a client suddenly changes their mind. That's, of course, important too, but this statement points to something more proactive.
Proactive, how so?
It's about actively choosing change sometimes. It's about embracing situations that might feel unfamiliar or aren't part of your usual routine.
Ah, okay, so it's less about being pushed, more about stepping forward.
Exactly. It's saying yes to a challenge, even if your first feeling is maybe hesitation or uh-oh. And a really big part of it is being truly open to learning new things.
Learning new skills, I guess.
Yes, but not just getting better at what you already do. It specifically includes learning stuff that might seem, completely outside your normal job description. Seeing those moments as real opportunities.
Okay, not inconveniences. That's a key distinction. It's reaching beyond the expected role. And there's also a really clear idea of what this doesn't mean, right?
Yeah.
Which is almost as helpful.
Yes, definitely. There's this contrast highlighted between saying, I'll try, versus saying, that's not my role.
Oof, yeah. That phrase.
Right. And that comparison is really powerful. It basically defines this aspect of adaptability by saying what it's not. It's pushing back against that mindset where you limit yourself strictly to, like, the bullet points on your job description.
So avoiding that's not my job reflex.
Precisely. It's about not building walls around what you can contribute based just on a title. It's seeing your potential to help and grow as bigger than those formal lines.
Which implies a much more collaborative spirit, I guess.
Yes.
Where the team goal kind of outweighs strict individual roles.
Exactly. It's a broader view of contributing value wherever it's needed for the team and for Alter's bigger goals.
And this isn't just theory, right? We have some really good concrete examples of what this stepping outside your comfort zone actually looks like right here.
Yeah.
Things we can picture.
Oh, absolutely. They make it really tangible. Let's walk through a few. Like, think about a copywriter. Their main thing is words, right? Concepts, campaign ideas.
Yeah.
But maybe they realize they're actually pretty good at organizing things, logistics. So instead of just sticking to the writing, they volunteer to help plan an agency event.
Okay, so that's way outside copywriting. Event planning is timelines, vendors, totally different skill set.
Totally different. It requires using a different part of your brain, learning new processes maybe, dealing with different kinds of pressures. That's a real step outside the familiar.
Right, using a hidden or maybe just adjacent skill for a completely different need.
Right.
What about the client success example? I remember that one.
Yeah, so a CS team member steps in to cover for a colleague who's out, maybe on leave. Now, that often means jumping into client situations or projects where you don't have all the history.
Right, you're missing context.
Exactly. You've got to get up to speed fast, maybe make decisions with incomplete info, manage expectations. It really requires being okay with jumping in, trusting you can figure it out as you go.
Yeah, dealing with ambiguity, that takes confidence. And there was a design one too.
A designer who usually works on, say, static visuals, print layouts, websites, branding, decides to try their hand at motion graphics for the first time.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a leap.
It is. It means new software, new principles like timing, animation, storytelling, and motion. It's not something that just happened to them. It's an active choice to learn and apply a new skill that maybe wasn't part of their core job before, pushing their own creative edges.
And it's not just technical skills either, right? It applies across roles, like the marketing exec example.
Yes, exactly. An executive whose usual day might be strategy meetings, team leading, maybe high-level client chats behind the scenes, they volunteer to actually deliver a key presentation at a big client meeting.
Okay, stepping into the spotlight differently.
Yeah, it's a different kind of performance, maybe higher pressure than their norm, putting themselves out there in a way that's not their everyday function.
And it even applies right from the start, like with the intern example.
That's such an important point. It shows this applies to everyone. An intern, maybe initially focused on supporting one team, steps up and volunteers to coordinate between different departments.
Next initiative.
Huge initiative. Navigating different priorities, managing communication across groups, dealing with maybe more complexity than they expected. It's taking on a central role beyond their initial task list.
These examples really drive home that willingly stepping out isn't about being forced. It's about choosing to contribute, using whatever skills you have or can pick up quickly.
Yeah, it's about agency. And there are real payoffs when you embrace this, right? Significant benefits.
Absolutely. Let's talk about those. What are the positive outcomes when you actually do this?
Well, first off, the obvious one. You build new skills. Every single time you tackle something new, you're adding to your professional toolkit. New software, better presentation skills, managing complex communication, tangible stuff.
Which makes you more valuable, more versatile.
For sure. And second, you might actually discover hidden strengths you didn't even know you had.
Like copywriter finding a knack for logistics.
Exactly. Or the designer realizing they love animation. Those aha moments can be incredibly powerful and, frankly, really rewarding personally.
Finding something new you're good at or just enjoy doing, that's huge.
It really is. And it's explicitly mentioned that showing this versatility, picking up these new skills, it can genuinely unlock new career paths right here within Alter.
So it's not just helping out, it's potentially shaping your own future here.
Precisely. You demonstrate you're capable and willing to take on different kinds of challenges, which makes you a really strong candidate when new roles or opportunities pop up as Alter grows. You're actively building your future.
That's a massive personal benefit. It shows living this value helps the team and helps you directly. It's mutual.
And finally, on the team side, when you step up like this, you become a more versatile, reliable support for your colleagues. The whole team becomes more resilient because people can pitch in effectively when challenges pop up or someone needs cover.
It strengthens the entire unit. Makes the
Yeah.
whole team more capable.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. We've talked about what it means, what it doesn't mean, seen examples, heard the benefits. What does this specific idea, willingly stepping out of your comfort zone, really mean for you, the alt link listening now? Why is it so critical for our big vision of limitless creativity?
Well, there's a really direct connection drawn. When every single alt link consistently lives these values, including this piece of adaptability, it creates this powerful ripple effect.
So?
Our culture gets stronger. Collaboration gets way better because people are willing to cross those traditional lines between roles or departments. And the team overall just becomes more powerful, more capable, more united.
Yeah, I can see that. If everyone stays rigidly in their box, well, what happens when a challenge doesn't fit neatly into one box? Or an opportunity needs skills from multiple areas?
Things can stall, opportunities get missed, the team gets rigid, slow. But if everyone is willing to stretch, even just a little, willing to learn to pitch in beyond their usual scope, then we become incredibly agile as a company.
We can pivot faster, solve problems more creatively, grab those opportunities.
Right. And there's that great phrase that captures it. Every time we stretch a little, we grow a lot.
I like that.
When we take on these new things with a bit of courage, some curiosity, wanting to learn, we individually become more skilled, more agile, more confident. And all that individual growth directly fuels Alter's vision of being the home of limitless creativity.
You can't be limitless if the people are limited by rigid roles.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
Exactly. That personal willingness to step outside your comfort zone isn't just, a nice thing to do. It's actually a core ingredient in making Alter dynamic, innovative, and truly creative without limits. It expands what we can collectively achieve.
So your choice matters. Your willingness contributes directly to the big picture.
Absolutely. And to help make this practical, to help you actively live this value day to day, there are 3 really usable, reflective questions suggested. Questions you can ask yourself next time something comes up that feels, well, a bit outside your usual comfort zone.
Okay, practical tools. I like that. What are they?
These are designed to help you kind of reframe the situation, see the opportunity instead of just the challenge. The first one is, what will I learn from this?
focusing on the growth aspect immediately.
Yeah.
Shifts it from a burden to a chance to gain something.
Right. The second question, what's the worst that could happen if I just give it a shot?
Okay, perspective check. Facing the fear, maybe realizing it's not as scary as it first felt, encourages a calculated risk.
Exactly, puts it in perspective. And the third question connects it to your own journey. Could this challenge be a step forward for me?
Looking beyond the immediate task, how might tackling this help my growth here at Alter? Could it open doors, introduce me to new things?
Yeah, could it expose you to new people, new processes, new possibilities? These three questions are really practical aids to help you willingly embrace those moments, to see them as the growth opportunities they really are.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive then, the main takeaway seems pretty clear. Being an alt-link, living this adaptability value specifically, willingly stepping outside your comfort zone for new tasks or roles, it's fundamentally about choosing growth.
It really is. It's about replacing that not my role thought with, okay, I'll try. It's embracing that learning curve, knowing it's okay not to know everything instantly, and seeing your potential contribution as broader than just a job title.
Seeing those unfamiliar requests not as interruptions, but as chances. Chances to expand what you can do, find hidden talents maybe, and just contribute more powerfully to what we're all building here.
Couldn't have said it better.
So here's something to think about as you go back to your work today or later this week. How does your personal willingness to step outside your comfort zone, maybe in just a small way today, how does that directly help build the collective skills and the agility that Alter needs for whatever comes next? For those unexpected opportunities or challenges tomorrow, how does that individual choice to stretch? How does it fuel our shared goal or vision of being recognized as the home of limitless creativity?